Hey, so welcome to yet another episode. In this episode, you're going to see a little bit of UFC from watching on TV, some date night stuff. I've got a little bit about my crazy long week that I worked, and also a little bit of old school cell phone history of my own, as well as this little thing that I'm wearing around my wrist. And I think that's it. So check out this episode. So it's Saturday. I'm trying to hook up Fight Pass on the TV. There was a fight last night in Japan, like at 2 in the morning, but you can still watch it on Fight Pass. I'm trying out the little 1-week trial thing. So far, not too happy because I can't watch it on my PlayStation. So I have to go through all this work of hooking up my laptop to my router and HDMI to the TV so I can watch it on the TV, because I don't want to sit here and watch it on the laptop. So I don't know about this UFC.
White trunks for Nelson, black trunks for Hunt.
Over 500 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So Jesse's bored and wants to do something. Tonight will be surprise date night, adventure night thingy.
So get out of the bathroom so I can do my makeup. Oh yeah, get out of here.
So we came here to AI Sushi. Came here early.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we're here early, so there's like nobody here, which is good. Because now we get like a table all to ourselves.
Yeah. But they'll still make me wait like 20 minutes.
We're probably waiting for other people to see if they're gonna come or not.
Which is fine.
Maybe we'll get a table to ourselves.
Yay! Yay!
Yay, we just got back from the movies. We watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Jessie hated it. She said it sucked.
No, he didn't.
She hated that we went and said it was a horrible movie.
No, he didn't.
Okay, it was a pretty funny movie.
It was pretty funny. They're ninjas.
And teenagers.
What?
And they're mutant.
It was super cute. You're crazy. It's so weird. Get out of here. Oh, you weirdo.
You want to join in on this clutch? Okay, come on. So I'm finishing up last week's episode that you would have already seen by now, right over here. And then I need to get to bed because starting tomorrow's Sunday, we're starting this crazy 12-hour work shift at work where I have to be at work at 5 in the morning until 5 p.m. All the way until Friday. So it's great overtime. It's gonna be awesome pay-wise, but hours are gonna be long, and it's a really boring exercise military thing that we're gonna be doing. So it's gonna be a long week. Oh, super early in the morning. It's probably gonna be like that last time several weeks back, where I had to get up really early in the morning, where the first day wasn't too bad, and then over the days it just gets worse, and then even like later in the day it gets worse. It's right now like 4 in the morning. So getting ready. I need to upload the last episode onto YouTube, and then head out the door, grab a Rockstar or something to snack on, and then over onto the Fort Carson base to kind of get this day started. It's gonna be a long day, I get the feeling, so I'll probably need a nap when I come home. This is my favorite part though about this whole super early thing. There's nobody. It's even I think crazier on a Sunday because nobody has even any reason to be out on a Sunday, so it's crazy. Alright, so we're now on Thursday of this crazy exercise. I've got basically one more day left of it, which is tomorrow. And you notice I got the tie. Today was a fancy day. Sometimes you just gotta be fancy sometimes. So it's not doing too bad so far. Some of the stuff's getting pretty tiring at times. I usually go home and I'm pretty beat after probably around like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I start getting pretty sleepy doing this 12-hour shifts. I'm getting up at like 3:50 in the morning, so I'm getting up pretty early and probably going to bed like at 10, so I don't get like the full 8 hours of sleep or whatever. So it's definitely wearing on me, but only one more day left of it. So that's kind of basically what's kind of going on. I don't know. I would say this video might be kind of short, but last time I said that it still ended up being like 10 minutes. But there's not a whole lot going on this week because of this exercise that I'm doing. It's kind of taking up a lot of my time, and so there's nothing really fun extra going on outside of work. So we'll see what happens Friday. Friday might be an early day, so maybe I'll have some time to do something fun on Friday.
$8.69.
Right.
Did you need any ketchup?
No.
Here you go.
Is there a straw in the bag?
Sorry?
Is there a straw in the bag?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Got one.
You too. You always gotta make sure there's a fucking straw in the bag if they don't give it to you at the beginning. So I'm digging through some stuff, just looking through some old drawers and stuff, but I found an old cell phone of mine. This is the Motorola. I think it was the Razors, actually, like the first Razor before they came out with like the flip one. This was one of my phones, and I had it's got a Superman sticker on the back. It's even behind you can kind of see it's a Singular. It's for any of you who don't know, who don't remember Singular Wireless. Singular Wireless was around, and then well, they bought out AT&T Wireless, and then they became Singular, and then AT&T bought out Singular again, and then they became AT&T again. So this is my phone I had. I'm trying to plug it in. We're going to see if it takes a charge. See if there's any old history on this phone. We'll see if it still powers on. Try pressing the power button. Not getting any results yet. Maybe it needs to kind of store up some juice first before we can get anything out of it. Not even sure if it's charging or not, so we'll give it a try and we'll see if there's anything cool in this thing. So there's also this one. This is another cell phone I had. I believe this cell phone right here was my first cell phone when I came back to the United States. So my very first real cell phone was a track phone, which I have that. I'll probably show you that here in a second. I have a track phone. That was my very, very first cell phone when I was stationed in Kansas. And you had to put minutes on it by buying the cards and everything. And that was really all that was available at the time. They kind of had some plans, but they were really expensive, I think, I remember. And so not very many people had actual plans. The few people that did have cell phones, they were usually like prepaid cell phones because those are the cheaper way to go compared to a plan. But when I went to Korea, I had a cell phone. Which that one I still have too, but I don't know where that one is. But I had a cell phone in Korea, and that one was on a plan in Korea, and they were pretty cheap in Korea. But then when I came back to the United States, I needed a cell phone for the United States, and that's at that point cell phones were getting popular now, and lots of people had cell phones now. This would have been 2004 when I came back to the United States. Sometime in the early 2000s while I was in Korea, cell phones were getting popular in the United States, I remember. But this was the very first one I got. I went to AT&T Wireless, and when they were still AT&T Wireless before they became Singular, and I got this phone. And the kind of cool thing about it was it opened up and you could change out the backs and the fronts and everything like that. So I had this front that came with it, and then I printed off my own back and I put this chick on it. It was like some model from some import tuner magazine or something like that. And so I put that together and I put it on there. If you look real carefully, you can even see on the back, actually right here, it says AT&T Wireless. So this one takes a different type of charger. It's really different, and I highly doubt that I would have this charger for it. So I won't be able to charge this one up to find out if there's anything cool on this one. Probably not. It'd be awesome if I could find the charger for this and power it up and see if there's anything cool. It did have a camera on the back of it, so there might be some 2004 pictures of me on here or something. I don't know. But this was my very first cell phone when I came back to the United States from Korea. We've got something. All right, we got something going on here. It's you can't see us on the screen actually, but it's kind of hard to see it on the screen, I guess, through the camera. But it is just basically telling me insert SIM, and it's charging. There's a little X. I don't know if you can see it on there. I almost wanted to tap it to close out the little emergency call only, which obviously would not work with this phone. So I don't actually get anything on the computer that kind of shows up. These are a bunch of the hard drives that are currently located on my computer. None of those are this one. So it's kind of a bummer. I really was hoping I could try to access something. So here's actually the SIM card from that Nokia, my very first cell phone. See how it still has the AT&T wireless on it from old school back in the day. So this one did not have a SIM card inside of it, so I got the SIM card from the Nokia and I'm going to try to place it inside of it. It's probably still not going to work, but maybe it'll do something to where it'll allow me to access the photos on it. It's a bummer. I guess this is back in the day when they didn't have stuff set up to be able to still access like phones and everything, even if you had your service turned off. Because obviously nowadays, types of phones, you know, you'd be able to access the photos even if your service has been turned off. And so another thing I forgot about this phone that was really cool, that had some cool features, is it had an FM radio inside of it built in, so you could listen to FM radio stations. And right here on the bottom was a flashlight. I thought it was just so cool that you could turn on a flashlight and use this. And you know, at the time it was something cool. You know, you didn't have the flashlights like on iPhones and everything else, but it's crazy. This right here is pretty dusty, but this is my original cell phone. This is technically my very first cell phone I ever owned. This is the one I was telling you about that I got in Kansas, and it was a track phone. But this thing's pretty bulky. It's got a Limp Bizkit sticker on the back of it. It's even got the extendable antenna. I was gonna bite on it, but this thing's been sitting out for a while, so it's got probably a lot of germs on it. But yeah, that thing's pretty large. When you compare it to, like, you know, well, here, let's hold this camera somewhere else. All right, so when you kind of compare the phones from over the generations that I've owned, you have this one, my very first one. Somewhere's in box, somewhere's I had my Korea one, which, you know, got much smaller. Then you have this one from the United States when I came back to the United States from Korea, which got a lot smaller, pretty much the same thickness though, but much smaller for sure. Then I went to basically this one, which is quite a bit thinner, but practically same size. And then now to, there was one other one from this one, but I'll explain that in a minute. But then basically to this, where it gets larger again. And that's really, I guess, because of the demand of what we're using stuff for. I mean, you have, you know, back here where, you know, you were just using it for making phone calls and, you know, doing text message, which sucked, by the way, doing text messages back then, because, you know, you had to press the 2-3 times to get the C, and then maybe the 3 twice to get the E, you know. So it was a pain to text back then. And you didn't do stuff like watch movies and TV shows and, you know, really record video like you do now with these kind of things. So we need a little bit more of a demand for larger screens and stuff. But I guess actually in between getting this one and my iPhone 3G, I actually had like this kind of like a what do they call it? Like a Palm Pilot phone. I can't really think of the word to really describe it. It had the flip out keyboard. It had a touch screen, but you had to use a stylus kind of thing. It didn't really work with your finger like an iPhone or other smartphones work nowadays. And you know, the slide out keyboard to use, and then a bunch of other little features and stuff. So I actually had that kind of in between. That one's actually got thicker. That was kind of, I guess, the start of, you know, the demand for wanting to do more with your phone. But it's just kind of crazy seeing how, you know, phones have just kind of evolved over the time. You know, going from this big old brick to now this thing that's probably has like a crap ton more memory than this thing could hold. Is much faster processor, and obviously can do a whole hell of a lot more. I mean, this thing can probably do more things than a computer back in the 90s could do. You know, this was actually from early 2000s, but even still, this was able to do, or is able to do, more stuff than my computer that I had running Windows ME back in 2000 could do. So it's crazy how things have kind of evolved from that. So I'm heading over to Dick's Sporting Goods because I want to look into getting a Nike Fuel or Nike Plus fuel band. I'm trying to get motivated again about working out and everything. I'm probably gonna look into a membership, maybe at Gold's Gym's right near the house, not too expensive, very convenient. So be able to go there in the mornings before work out, try to get into better shape, and use this Nike Fuel band to kind of motivate me and keep track of my progress and kind of keep me active. So I'm hoping that by buying this, because it's one, I want to buy it because it's cool, but two, I'm hoping that spending $100 on this band will motivate me to kind of stick to it. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna feel stupid because I wasted $100 on this Nike Fuel band for it to just track me walking around at work and at home, and that'll be stupid. So this is basically what it looks like. Came inside this little box. You kind of slide that open, and then you got this that has actually the actual band inside of it, which opens upside down. But this is the actual band itself. I had to get the small. I was actually surprised. I thought I was going to need maybe like the medium, but I actually got the small, and then you add some links to it. So I have this one, and then I'll actually have to add one of the links onto it to make it fit properly. So there you go. There's the end of that episode. Thanks for watching this one. I'm going to sit here and figure out how to work this Nike Fuel band, try to program it and see how this thing works and try it out a little bit. And then other than that, I will see you next time. See ya.